Hello, my name is Kenneth Venable. I'm on the Board of Trustees here at the Frontier Cultural Museum and also the Executive Board. And this weekend we have the Igbo Conference here for the Igbos that are coming from Nigeria. Frontier Cultural Museum has had an exhibit here built by the Igbos over 8 years ago. So this is almost like a coming together of a reunion of Igbos from Nigeria, but also for African Americans here in the United States. The Frontier Culture Museum, with the exhibit, is the only exhibit in the United States that was built by Igbos, but also represented by Igbos every year. So this weekend here in Staunton, we'll have over 1,000 people, mostly Igbo and African Americans, along with African American churches, coming out what we call to celebrate family, and almost like an Igbo family reunion. And it's wonderful, and I'm so happy to be a part of this and looking at this event going even further next year. So excited about the entertainment, and we're just getting started today. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Vicki Anna Quincy. I am from Los Angeles, California. I am married to Dr. Nwachukwu Anna Quincy, who originally is from Anambra State in Nigeria. My husband is Nowu in his village, which means prime minister of his village. That's in Abagana. And I have the title of Ezine from the Eri Kingdom and also Ezine from Abagana. We're here today at the CISA Cultural Festival. That stands for Council of Igbo States in the Americas. We're at the Frontier Museum in Staunton, Virginia. We're having our annual cultural festival. The purpose of this cultural festival is to introduce people to the West African culture, also to let everyone know the contributions of the African Americans to the entire country of the United States. We came here as slaves, but we helped build the nation, and the museum is dedicated to that. The museum is divided also into, it gives credit to the English, German, and Irish also. We're here today. We're having big cultural events tomorrow, Saturday, which will consist of cultural dances, food. There will be other types of entertainment, as well as speeches to let people know about the country of Nigeria. Most of the slaves that came into the United States, especially into the Shenandoah Valley, which is here in Virginia, came from the Igbo tribe. So many of the participants will be Igbo people. Approximately more than 40% came from the Igbo tribe. So we're here to inform people, to educate people, and also to have a good time. Thank you very much. Good morning. We're here with my husband, Dr. Nwachukwu Anna Quincy. His title is Onowu Abagana, and he will introduce himself further.
Dr. Nwachukwu Anna Quincy, Onowu of Abagana, the Prime Minister of my village, like a deputy king of my village. We're here in Frontier Cultural Museum, the Igbo village, for our Igbo World Festival. My people are the first people to come here in America through Jamestown, Virginia, before they spread out all over America. So the African Americans came from us, from our villages. So we're here to celebrate. We have a museum. Here, Igbo village, in addition to the Irish village, English village, German village. So we're here today to honor our ancestors who helped to build this great country. That's why America is great, because our people came here to make America great. Okay.
I would like to introduce Chief Iwodo. He will further introduce himself. He's from Los Angeles via Nigeria. He'll tell you about which village he's from, and he'll tell you why he came here today. This is his first visit to the Frontier Cultural Museum.
And yes, my full name is Chief Okenwa Ewudo Ozo Ugodelenwa Ugonwa Neziowele Vianteje. Yes, it is of paramount importance that I have to be here to join with our community, to commune with history. We value our contribution of our people here, and we will continue to join forces together because we share the same history.
His Royal Highness, this is Eze Eri from the Eri Kingdom, which traces its lineage back to the Old Testament and the Bible. So Eze Eri is a very prominent king. He is the spiritual leader of the Igbo people, and all the Igbo people originated from the Eri clan. He will further introduce himself. He's been to this village 2 to 3 times, and he can tell you about his experience, and he will further introduce himself and tell you a little bit about his lineage.
Thank you very much. My name is Majesty Eze Chukwemekere. Myself is Majesty Eze Chukwemekere. Ezora 34th, Eze Akajovibo, Obrugade, Enugu Aguleri, Idu Kingdom. We are here today to grace the occasion and Frontier, Virginia, which we have find out that somebody like a doctor Anakwenze, Unu Wabagana, and other permanent Igbos find out that Igbo connected here, and our brother is here, and here is the head of the Americas. So we are lovely to join them and a great occasion to make sure that whenever anywhere Igbos find themselves, we are join them to this occasion. And we are happy. I'm here 2 years ago. See what's going on, that this place is good to anybody call Igbo or any part of the whole world to come and witness what's going on here, because all the entire Igbo cultures is exhibited here. So I'm happy to hear again, to see Igbo sons and daughters and the lineage, because when they are here, they have to know much about our Igbo culture, know about Igbo, anything and how Igbo going, because Igbo is a great country. And we belong to America here, we're the same brothers and sisters. And I thank all the leaders we have in Igbo land, like our governor Willie Biano, is excellent, he's a very good governor. Is one who make the Nigerians and Igbos know that to being a governor is not just something to killing somebody or do anything, but say people love you. It shows the person attitude and everything. The election and win is a wonderful thing, and I'm happy to be here today to grace the occasion to join together, and they have to join together. Thank you very much.
When they did research, you will see Professor Njoku will be here today. He's the one that did the research, and then they found out that majority of the blacks that came to America are Igbos. So they came through Jamestown, came here, but worked themselves to death, then they spread all over the place. So majority of African Americans came from us, Igbo land, and this is the king. This is the main king of Igbo land. So we're here to celebrate our ancestors that came here and suffered and built America, made America #1 country in the world. It's because of our people that came here that America is a superpower.
That's right.
So the African Americans that came from us made America #1 country in the world.
Dr. Howell, there's so much discussion about how Africans from the continent don't like black Americans. I want you to refute that foolishness.
But that's not true. Somebody's brainwashing you.
I know.
Somebody's working on your mind.
I know.
It's a complete lie. Somebody wants you to hate yourself. And they are telling you that you hate yourself. How can that be?
How
Can the father hate the son? Are you with me? Can I get a witness? Somebody comes between you and your father and say your father hates you.
And you believe
and
it?
And you believe it. Why would you believe that? Don't you think the person is making a fool of you?
Wow.
They want to divide and conquer you.
Exactly. That's British way.
So no African person will deny their own.
And look at the chief and the Ezra. They agree. African American, to me, you must spend time in Africa. You must spend time in Nigeria.
Yeah, well, that's where people came from. You have to go there. You're a citizen there too. Just like I'm a citizen here, you see, when you go there, you can also become a citizen. You can have dual citizenship. That's where your papa has came from.
Yeah. I think that's my next thing, to be honest.
The president's organization, his wife is also from California. So we're working together. We know where we are. We know where we are going. You people are our descendants. We are all one and the same.
The Jamaican, the Haitian, the black in Canada.
So the right hand wash the left hand, and the left hand wash the right hand, and both hands become clean. Are you with me?
Manfred Reed. I'm hail from Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm here with a resident of the state of Virginia that has an historical perspective that will be beneficial to all of us in Kentucky. Going back to the early 16th, 17th, and 18th century. And I would like to give her an opportunity to give us a narrative in regards to her background, her history, and her experience in determining.
Hi, I'm Denver Bollier-Haynes, and actually about 5 years ago I visited Africa for the first time. And when I went, the one thing that really struck me, it was exciting to see how black people did everything. And I went and I realized that everything that I'd ever seen on television, it was all pretty much a lie, because it looked like Hawaii in sort of a more underdeveloped way, but it was the most beautiful place I'd ever been. So I visited 2 countries, and then I came back, and after that I sort of started a quest to find out who I am and why I'm the way that I am. And then I saw a special purpose in that, because I believe that when young people know who they are, where they come from, and the story of our ancestors, I believe that we can solve a lot of our social problems. So that being said, the first thing that I did was I had my DNA done. Once I discovered those different parts of myself, I'm 60% African, but I'm also 40% European. And of course, my family couldn't necessarily tell me about the European parts. So I spent a lot of time, searching through records, actually doing research, talking to the elders in my family, just to kind of understand what they knew. Once I understood what they knew, then I actually started looking at some of the DNA matches, because it'll actually find you cousins. And through that, I was able to find a second cousin who was actually German, and talk to that family and to get the history and start to piece together my lineage. It changed my life. I find that I live a more fulfilling life. I wake up every day with purpose, and everything that I do, I think I've become a better mother, I've become a better friend, I've become a better citizen, knowing that there's a responsibility to help others and that I'm not just living selfishly for myself. So I would tell anybody who is interested in finding out more about who they are to definitely sit down as a family, talk to your elders, get your DNA done, and really start to look at, ways that you can contribute in the community, because it's almost as if we are a global family. You'll find family just about everywhere. We're all really more similar than different.
Could you give some description of your family lineage so it will provide a basic understanding from all of our people in terms of how mixed we are, how we interchange with other people, and how we are not all African. Okay.
So, my mother's family comes actually from a small rural place called Madison, Virginia, which sits on the border of West Virginia. And then what I knew very little about, for example, my Washington family. They never talked about it. And what I discovered through the DNA, my mom just happened to one day, she was actually on vacation out in Williamsburg, and she ran into a woman who just kind of walked past and recognized her. And the woman asked her where she was from. And my mother, said, oh, I'm from Washington, D.C. area, because that's usually like a place that people remember. Well, after talking a little bit more, my mother, the woman explained that she was from Madison County, and my mother actually said, I'm from Madison County too. Come to find out, that woman was a second cousin. We shared the same, my great-grandfather was that woman's great-grandmother's brother. And I was able to substantiate all of that through the DNA, but that actually led me to actually finding a plantation which provided the basis for our surname, because I think it's pretty common knowledge that most people get the last name of their slave master. Well, it led us back to a Washington plantation that sat on the border of Virginia and West Virginia, but my great-grandmother was a Blakey, and come to find out, the actual plantation house was called Blakely House. And again, it was not uncommon for them to change the origin of names to make it easier, so my grandmother was a Blakey, and her mother had been a slave at another plantation very nearby. So it seems as if, as we started to migrate based on where the plantations were, it was really, people socialized and engaged one another based on proximity and how often, the families, the masters may have, engaged one another. And so you'll find that our families kind of weave in and out of different family lines, and you have more cousins than you actually know. You have a bigger family than you can actually imagine. So through this experience, again, I think the overarching message is we are all family. We are more similar than different. We need to find ways to empower our community, and as people of color, we need to learn to work together and look for ways to create economic power for ourselves, because we are much more powerful. We come from powerful people with powerful purpose. And the other interesting thing, if you go back even to like biblical times, our lineage is documented in the Bible, but a lot of us don't even think about that. We are part of history. We're making history every day, and it starts at home in your family tree.
Back to Kentucky, and we want you to visit us.
Absolutely.
And to speak to our people in regards to these experiences. And we do need to create a link between groups here in America so we can continue to research and disclose more information to our people and return through how we're going to go.
Yep.
So thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And then we both went to medical school there. And then when he finished, then he moved to Los Angeles.
Oh, wow.
And then when I finished, I joined him.
You joined him? Oh, my goodness.
Our women prepare it. It's a traditional menu and recipe that is very, very popular. So we'll do that tomorrow. Today is basket workshop, and it will start as soon as those supplies all the way from Indonesia, as soon as they are ready, we'll start in an hour to start the workshop. As the cultural director, let me introduce our boss here. Without teacher Njoko, he's a professor, but he prefers to be called teacher. Teacher means a teacher, right? A professor. I'm a PhD. So
what's going on today is lay down things from our forefathers. And we all here to witness that the origin of America is the origin of Igbo, is the origin of African Americans. And we here all to witness what's going on. That was mainly, I come from Igbo, a tribe from Anambra, Nigeria, come down here to grace the occasion. The occasion about to grace, as I said, there is the origin. Because a combination of people making America is the African Americans, Americans, and the Igbos. America is everybody's American. And we thank God today it's come to the reality. So I advise everybody here, everybody have to feel at home. Because God know that it's going to happen that way. And Africa from our place, Igbo. The Egypt claim it because the grammar, the whites is close to them. The origin of the whole world is Igbo. And they have a lot of things. If in a place now I show you this is this. I'm here to grace the occasion to tell everybody here, African America, anybody, this is your place. Feel at home. Because if God didn't like it, none of us can be here. But God knows that you must be here today to witness what's going on, lay down policy, but actually can start where when they grow. The occasion is about to start. Everything Igbo doing, we're going to perform the Ewaji Ilijofu. We're going to perform everything Igbo have, we're going to perform it. So I welcome everybody and I thank everybody. Thank you very much. You have much to ask me.